The debater of number 1, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
With Jeff, we have Wayne Church, the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series rep for Anheuser-Busch, to present the Busch Polo Award. On behalf of Anheuser-Busch and Busch Beer, the big beer of NASCAR, proud to sponsor Busch Grand National.
And here comes Earnhardt right back after him. Second place at stake here.
Most of the Winston Cup guys have seen that move 100 times over. Jeff Burton just saw it for the first time. Probably as soon as you pass Dale, his trademark is to drive right back under him, but it looks like he's going to make it stick anyway.
Earnhardt tries him on the inside.
Almost made it stick.
He may be the intimidator, but he's not intimidating Jeff Gordon in number 1, at least a little bit. Gordon right back around on the outside and forward. Jeff Gordon in number 1. What a show he is putting on with Earnhardt in a battle for second position, while Mark Martin continues to draw away.
We've had problems with other things. It's just something that happened today.
All right, we're down to halfway. Just about to lap the 13th place car. Grissom was number 1. They've thrown the caution out of the field to roll them, get them ready to come on to pit road. It'll slow them down a couple of laps. These are counting laps, which will make 1:02 officially the first segment, with 98 when they come back out and crank.
Mark Martin blew up. Are you worried about the heart in this thing?
No, not at all. You know, our motor's running good. We've tested it quite a bit on the dyno. We've had real good luck with our motor so far this year, and so I feel pretty confident with it. The car's working great. We made a lot of changes this morning that we didn't know whether they were going to work or not. It's unfortunate for Mark because we really had him covered, and I was trying to reel him in. I think I had a shot at reeling him in. Passing him was going to be one thing, but he didn't have us all covered. I mean, me and him were really running good, and now it's a shame to see him out because I really wanted to race with him.
Jeff Gordon.
5th in points currently behind Kenny Wallace and Joe Nemechek, Presley. A couple of laps to go, about a lap and a half to go. Here's Bodine high, Trickle low, and Trickle right back after him. Second place. Biggest payday. Whoa, they're in the wall, both cars. Bodine and Trickle loose, crashing as we get down to the end of this one. White and yellow are out on the track.
Checker's going to be coming out this time.
Checkers will come out when they come by. It will be Jeff Gordon taking it home, but it looks like that second position is going to end up in the hands of Bobby Labonte, and it could move Morgan Shepherd to 3rd. Let's sort this one out. Here is Bodine getting fired. He's trying to get back to the line. They're coming back to cross. Here is Bodine completing that lap. Checkers are out, and it is over in an unbelievable finish. The winner is Jeff Gordon. The battle. Look at the toe-in on car number 34. It took a lick.
Do they have any finishes at Charlotte that they don't have a wreck on the last lap? It's unbelievable the way these races have been the last few weeks here.
For the second time this year, Jeff Gordon has won. I'm concerned about Dick Trickle. There's a group down around that car number 2. We haven't seen much movement out of the car. 20-year-old Pittsboro, Indiana's Jeff Gordon flies to victory in the Baby Ruth Ford here in the Champion Spark Plug 300 this afternoon. At the finish line, Bobby Labonte will get 2nd. Morgan Shepherd will come home.
Talking to him. He can't hear us now. Can't hear anybody. He's on the way out of the car within moments. Jeff?
You want to get him in the car? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's Jeff Gordon. Come on out of the car. Come on.
All right, he's going to stand up. He's going to stand up.
Jeff's going to stand up. He's going to wave at the crowd. There we go. There's the enthusiasm. All right. Your wildest moment must have been coming off that 4th corner when you got into the jingle with Dick Trickle and with Phil Parsons. Tell us about that.
Well, he was running really strong, and I knew it was coming down to the last few laps. I mean, there were still 20 laps to go, but Dick was running real strong. I didn't know if I could get by him. And Phil, he was trying to get his lap back there, and Dick was battling with him, and I saw him get loose. and also Phil Parsons, and I went to the bottom. I knew it was either, you know, win or lose right there, and that was where we won the race.
How scary a moment was that?
It was real scary. I mean, we about lost it, but hey, sometimes you got to hang it out to win these races. I'm going for it. I'm going for the win. I'm not going for second.
This is the oldest car in your stable. Don't these things wear out?
This is the best car we've got in our stable. It's won twice now on super speedways from the pole. I can't say enough for this car. I tell you what, all the controversy that's been going on, these guys, I mean, they gave me everything that they had. I gave them everything I had. And no matter what happens, we're going to win races the rest of the season, try to win this championship.
Biggest payday, biggest day in your career.
Unbelievable. From the pole, I mean, I really didn't think it could be done, you know, and it was just our day. I mean, again, from Atlanta, it was our day. Today, it was our day. I mean, Mark gave us a heck of a run. Dick Trickle gave us a heck of a run, but, you know, can't say enough. I mean, we did it, and that's what counts.
And they are all grinning. This is still a team sport, even if there's controversy, as Jeff Gordon just told you. His biggest day, this 20-year-old is going to have some more big days and a great career yet to unfold.
$113,000 big this day. A Channel Lock Victory Lane interview with Jeff Gordon, successful here this afternoon in the Champion Sparkplug 300.
Now here is what happens when one car nudges another car from behind. Generally, the car in front gets the worst of the deal. Just ask number 63, Chuck Bound. And add insult to injury, here comes the OA car of Bobby Dowder to give Chuck another shot, as if he needed it. In the replay, we can see Bound heading for the inside, which is what happens in every incident on the Monster. Right behind him comes Bobby Dowder, who takes a good lick himself. They both continue to scrub off speed as they again make contact against the inside wall. In these kind of incidents, you can bet the driver wakes up in the morning with black and blue marks where the shoulder straps were.
Well, we were just racing hard, and the tires were cold on a restart, not gripping that well. I broke loose coming off 4. I caught it, and I thought I had it straightened up, but I had to come out of the throttle to catch it. And in doing so, I lost my momentum. I think Jeff Gordon got into me a little bit from behind. He didn't mean to. It was just hard racing. Just one of them deals.
What a terrible way to start a week.
Yeah, things haven't went exactly how we hoped, but car was running good. We were on the lead lap. Something happened with Chuck Bound up there, and I got out of the throttle, and Richard Lassiter run into the back and turned me into the inside wall.
Well, the word we got from Chuck was his car got a little loose, and as he cracked the throttle, then Jeff Gordon bumped him. Just started chain reaction, I guess.
Yeah, that must be it, because I said I saw them all turning around, and I just eased out of the throttle, and Richard must have been right on my back end, and he just got into me and turned me around.
We're getting set to go to green. Jeff Gordon on the front row. Tommy Houston flanks him. Gordon has already won 2 races this year. He won both of those events from the pole position. We'll see if history repeats itself this afternoon. Pace car is off the racetrack. We're getting set for green in the Carolina Pride Budweiser 250. Green flag's out. A good jump by Jeff Gordon. And following in behind him, it's Jimmy Spencer as the pack now heads for the first time out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Gordon, if he leads to the start-finish line this time, will have led 8 of the 14 or 15 races rather so far this season. He's led more laps than anybody else. He stays right out front.
You go to the top because it'll clean itself, but on flat track, that's where everything goes, is up against the wall.
Jerry Glanville just learned that lesson very well. There's a look at the coach of the Atlanta Falcons. So after our first caution flag, we've got a moment, so we'll take a break in the action here from the Myrtle Beach. Jeff Gordon, the leader. He's led it from start to finish. As we head to commercial, we asked Jeff Gordon if his team still is as determined as it was before he announced he was leaving at the end of 1992.
It has settled down where really everybody's talking, everybody's getting along as much as you can possibly get along in this type of situation, but we're going to still go out and do our job. I'm going to go out and do my job, and we're going to be a team, and that's the only way we're going to win races or this championship is to be a team, and that's what we're working on trying to do right now.
Breaking the weather pretty soon here. I think we'll get right back to it.
That's Jeff Gordon, the youngster from Pittsboro, Indiana. He's been out front from the pole right from the very start. Ben Jarrett standing by with his car owner.
Davis, Bill, obviously things look like they're going pretty well for Jeff. What's he saying about the car?
The car's fine. It's a little bit tight on a restart, but within about 10 laps it comes back to him, and he's real happy with it. I don't know what the rain will do. We were really having fun. We liked the way it was going there, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, we had noticed that Steve Grissom had been able to close a little. Was Jeff trying to tone things down a little, taking it easy?
Try and stay ahead of Steve. Boy, he charges every lap, you know. He's one of the hardest chargers in our garage. We'd like to stay ahead of him if we can, but we don't want to run our stuff too hard.
All right, one thing that is awfully tough, especially on a young driver, is when that car feels so good, and you guys are saying, hey, take it easy, you know, be consistent. It's hard to slow that thing down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real hard for Jeff Gordon. He wants to go wide open, but he's learning patience, doing a lot better job in that respect.
Okay, these guys are patiently awaiting the stop of this rain so they can get back out and win this race.
Bobby Labonte stayed out. That surprises me. I thought maybe he needs to lead that lap for points and then he'll come in.
Jeff Gordon coming on pit road. Tom Peck there as well. He was running in the top 10. Ward Burton slides into his pit. Here's the Baby Ruth team coming in. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mark, he has brought the car in, had a little trouble getting around the 27 car. They have called for a 4-tire change. They're also making a chassis adjustment on the right rear wedge bolt. Looked like he took a couple of rounds out. And they only changed 2 tires. That's kind of surprising. They had called for 4, but he only changed the right side tires. Possibility he might come back in. We're just going to have to wait and see. We'll get a word with Bill Davis just as quick as they get the pit clear here.
Just a quick stop for some loose lug nuts, it looked like. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, that's exactly right, Mark. The concern of the crew here right now is when Jimmy Spencer got his lap back, he hit Jeff in the rear pretty hard, and he really caved the rear bumper in. They're afraid that he might have done some frame damage. Jeff is reporting a vibration on the car. They really haven't had a chance to look at it yet. The cars go around here so fast under caution, they can only change 2 tires at a time, so they haven't had time to look for the problem. They've been concerned with changing tires. I'm going to get a word with Bill Davis just to find out exactly what is going on.
Spencer, Labonte, and Bound.
Come on, Spencer.
They're dicing. Back to the yellow flag.
Oh, my goodness. We got a little slamming going on.
Chuck Bound, after Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Spencer banged together, he actually led the cars across the stripe. Looks like he's back in the lead for the 3rd time today. There's the Team R Racing Bobby Dotter machine. Here's Dotter right behind car 36. That's Kenny Wallace. To his inside car 1.
Right under him. They touched there. Okay, he spun him right around. That's a shame. He runs so well today.
Slapped the wall pretty hard there in turn 1 on the driver's side. Bobby Dotter, though, okay. Here's a look at it from a different angle. In the middle, Jeff Gordon.
Him there. He turns him right there. He didn't mean to do it. It's just one of those things. In the Nemechek, they get straightened up. That looks like an easy bump. That's a pretty serious.
Wallace came across and really protected that line down into turn 1. You're looking from behind Kenny Wallace at the new 2nd place car, Jeff Gordon.
A lot different on this restart than that first start. That conservatism is over. These guys are racing.
Well, that's a good shot right there. He's up there nipping it back
in the race. Unscheduled stop here at lap 7. The big move for the lead. Jeff Gordon makes it, and Nemechek almost gets Kenny Wallace off track there. Look at the lead that Gordon's got coming out of that chicane as Wallace had to deal with Nemechek.
Well, we saw him. He got a big shot of that chicane. You saw the black mark come off the tire. I'm telling you, that is on the edge right there, getting ready to get loose.
Ed Ferree has spun. Now remember, the caution wave's just at that area. That's entering the chicane. And he's back on course. Here's the leader, turn 10. This is turn 11, and back to start finish, Jeff Gordon.
I tell you, Jeff Gordon's got a good feel for a race car. He really throws it around, and just like you're talking about, uses up all the racetrack, but yet he knows how much he's got left out there. He really gets around in any type car he's in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You know, when we were on the other, it looked like he might have slipped by him as we were in the S's. It looked like he cleared him going in the chicane on the back straightaway.
Saw Clifford Allison there briefly, and now you're looking back at Todd Bodine, who has caught Kenny Wallace.
Now, Ernie will be trying to set up Jeff right now. He's trying to get the car set up straight behind him so he can run up this hill better, get a run going, and try to probably get him up there in the new inner loop. I don't think he's close enough.
Just kind of outbreak him getting in the corner there.
You can get that momentum started down there in turn 2, and if you get the run going, you know, it'll just carry you right up alongside, but I don't think he's going to make it this time.
That little forward handles up the straightaway pretty good. Seems like Ernie under braking's been real good on him, too.
You know, Mark Martin drove all these cars the other day. Drove his car, he drove Ernie's car, he drove Jeff's car. He went the fastest in Jeff's car, but he said Ernie had more motor.
Well,
I don't tell you what he said about his.
Oh, okay.
The first yellow or something where we could work on it. I thought we could have run pretty good, but I just didn't get a chance to run it hard. I was just riding around waiting for a yellow.
Well, he didn't get that yellow. Now he's out of the race.
Here's Jeff Gordon, the second place car, getting 4 tires at lap 31. Joe Nemechek is also in, and he will get 4 tires on this stop. Tom Peck will pit next time by. And yes, that fellow walking around behind Mark Martin, that was Morgan Shepherd. He's an observer here today. Brad Doherty from Cleveland Cavaliers, who used to back Robert Presley's racing, is also here.
The 4 tire stop has kind of surprised me. I know I talked to the Winston Cup drivers, and they said they're going to come in and get 2 and go.
Yeah, the radio seems to have a good characteristic of not going.
Bill Elliott earlier today, Davy Jones ran the fastest lap ever turned on a North American road race course in the Bud Light Jaguar. It'll run here in the Camel Continental on Sunday. And as Jones climbed out of the car after that run, look who climbs in. Bill Elliott gets aboard. They had set up for Elliott to take an exploratory lap.
But they need a shoehorn to get him in, though, Mike.
He's about a foot too tall, and the shifter's on the wrong side for him, but he wants to drive that car awfully bad.
Left-hand shift, that's got to be a handful trying to figure that out.
Elliott flies his own plane, and it's a good thing because the aerodynamics in those GTP cars, you'd have to be a pilot.
They got enough gauges for a pilot, I guarantee you.
Well, you know, this weekend the Busch Grand National drivers have been sharing track time with the Camel GT racers that will compete here Sunday. And, well, there's some hurt feelings and a bit of grudge going on as to who's the better driver and who has the most fans. So Thursday night in Elmira, New York, to benefit the American Red Cross, these 2 great racing series settled their differences with a good old-fashioned duel. The choice of weapons for this duel, bats, balls, and baseball gloves. The Busch Series drivers had a built-in advantage going in over their Camel GTP rivalries. The base paths had all left turns.
I know, I'm going to give it 100%, but if I'm not going to break a leg, you know, that's the difference. Everybody says, go out there and break a leg. I said, I ain't going to break no leg, you know, but we're going to play hard.
And play hard they did after, of course, first signing more than a few autographs and singing along with the national anthem. Chuck Bound, the southpaw from Oregon, took the mound, seeking his first, well, okay, his only win of the season. Looked strong early on with that strike. Ricky Craven excelled with his bat and in the outfield for the Busch Series stars. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead. The crowd of 3,000 saw Chuck Bound walk in a run to narrow the lead to 1. Little pit stop pep talk on the mound with the score 5-4. IMSA driver Kenny Wallace flies out to NASCAR driver Kenny Wallace to end it.
You know, everybody's having a lot of fun, and there's a lot of people here cheering us on, so it really is a good time.
It was a lot of fun, and they raised a lot of money for the American Red Cross. This may become an annual event.
I tell you, Mike, these guys have been serious, the Busch drivers. Up at Dover, I saw them in the infield practicing, and at Charlotte, after the track would close, they practiced. So, I mean, they were pretty serious about winning the ball game.
Of course, you were suited up for that one.
I was, but since nobody, it was like in high school when you sat on a bench waiting for your name to get picked, and nobody picked me.
So we took you to decide if you were a NASCAR driver and an IMSA driver.
They thought I was going to cheat both ways, and I was. I was going to win the game.
By the way, Elton Sawyer's had a tough day here on the racetrack, but he was named most valuable player up there Thursday night. They had a lot of fun. We're getting set for the restart. As they come around, there will be 3 laps to go. We're on lap 57, completing 58, excuse me. There'll be 4 laps to go when they come back. And they'll get the green flag. Irvin the leader, Gordon in second, Bodine is third, Labonte is fourth, Joe Nemechek is fifth, Dave Resendiz is sixth, Kenny Wallace is seventh, Chuck Bound, and Butch Miller. Green flag.
Ernie brought him around that corner real slow that time. He tried to get the jump, and I don't think he got the advantage he got last time because Jeff Gordon's right there with him.
Nemechek will move up a spot on the inside, and then the red car next back is Resendiz on the inside, racing Kenny Wallace and taking a position away. Patty Moise, by the way, was able to continue in her car. She's still in it here.
They did do their clean. I was concerned about that restart. There's so much on the line right here, but they all got through there without a problem.
Todd Bodine drawing a bead on Jeff Gordon, but Terry Labonte is going to be right in his mirror.
The one thing he's got going for him, like we talked about earlier, Jeff Gordon doesn't have the luxury of that lead and to protect it now. He's got to start protecting that position he's in, and it's not going to run as fast a line, so Bodine might be able to work on him a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough for Gordon being in the middle there. He'd love to get up there and race with Ernie, but he's got to watch his mirror because right behind him, here comes Terry.
Kenny Wallace picked up a spot going into the loop there, and Gordon's off the course. Don't think he hit the wall, but he lost it there at turn 9.
Hood's buckle up just a little bit. He might have slapped the left front a little bit on there. It's hard to say.
There it is.
Got into something. It's hard to tell.
It doesn't look like that car's hurt that bad. You'd think he'd be able to get it going, but they're hard to crank when they're hot like that, and he probably killed the motor.
And where he's sitting, if he doesn't get it recranked, they're going to have to bring the caution out because he's in a bad park place on the racetrack.
Jeff Gordon, who led part of this race, ran in second for another good part of it. This may be the last lap of green here. Now they'll be waving caution at that point if the car is still parked there. He started, he's at least rolled it back.
I'm not so sure he didn't just move it with the starter, just spin it over and roll it back, put it in gear and let the clutch out, turn the starter on. But they're motioning for a push. He's sitting in a bad place.
They're motioning to keep the race cars to the outside of the corner. They'll do in road racing. When you have a caution in one area, try to help guide the drivers to where the problem is to help them get around. Here come the leaders. You saw Gordon's car right there. They're in the chicane. See the yellow flags flying. Everybody can get by here. We may get this thing concluded. We're coming to 60 laps this time.
There's no worse feeling than to sit there in the middle of the racetrack in a dead race car thinking that those race cars are coming at 3,200-pound cars coming at 100 miles an hour. It's no fun.
Especially that's the driver's door. They're dodging over there on the other side.
Now this is the norm in road racing. You'd have a car stopped on the course. You'd wave the yellow in that area for that corner. The cars have to stay single file and get by. This is not the type of dangerous situation it would be, say, on a super speedway.
That is a little bit downhill right there. If he could get the car turned a little bit, he could possibly roll them down out of the way some, but
it's yellow flag.
Okay, it sure is. I was about to say we see Terry Labonte and working over Todd Bodine, trying to get underneath him for second place.
And he waited about a couple hundred feet too long. At the last instant, they did drop the yellow, and at 60 laps,
come back, it'll be 61. That'll be 1 to go.
And they'll be able to get that car out of there with 1 to go, I'm sure, because it's rollable. They can push it down there, kind of where Bill Elliott was sitting.
I believe Ernie Irvin was beneath and past the flag stand before the starter got the yellow flag out.
If that's the case, they're going to race all the way back around. They're coming pretty hot. They must think they've got to race back to the line.
I think at least certainly Ernie thinks they're still under green. Now the swing to the outside around the stop machine of Jeff Gordon. There it sits. And here they come.
Well, I'm not too sure that they're not catching.
They are closing up on Irvin. This will be lap 61. There'll be 1 lap to go after they come back.
Boys all over him right here.
Turn 10. 1 more corner. Todd Bodine looking for his 3rd Busch Grand National victory. Cannot make the dive under Ernie Irvin, and they will come to the caution flag. Labonte almost lost the car trying to get...
They got the yellow and the white flag at the same time, so 1 lap to go, and they're going to put that car, you know, they're going to run this thing the last lap, just like it is. It's going to have to be caution up there where the car is, but they're racing.
But now caution is out at the start-finish line. So we may there's the pace car, so technically we are under a full course yellow. A rather confusing end to the Phase 150 here. as the caution was out first at turn 9 and then became a full course caution, but the leader had already passed by the start-finish line, so they ran one more lap up there for first, second, and third. And I'm glad we didn't have to sort out the scoring on that one.
I tell you, when I went to drivers' meeting, no, they just run very few road courses, and they were questioning. It was almost, let's take a vote. How are we going to do this? So we're going to put a caution on a particular part of the track, full course, and I think it was just as the things happened, they decided what they were going to do.
Well, again, it's not, you know, it may look, certainly if you're used to watching oval races and a car spins and sits on the racetrack, you'll get a caution every time. But here you got a 2.5-mile track for everybody to come around, and if the car is not in the line, you know, they'll put those flags out, first a standing yellow, then a waving yellow just in front of the incident, and by the second or third time by, you know it's there. The yellow's out in that area, so you can't pass. You got to be single file, and it's not the dangerous situation it might appear if we were on an oval track.
You know, race car drivers absolutely hate ending a race under yellow like this. It's no fun for anybody. Everybody out there would like to race, except for maybe that lead guy. He's probably glad to see it, because I don't know if he slowed for the yellow or if Todd Bodine was just pressuring him so much, but he had made up a lot of ground. He was right there in striking distance.
I'd say they were going for it, looking at the way Terry Labonte came off that last corner. There's the reason for the caution, Jeff Gordon's car. Let's check with Mark Garrow on pit road.
Well, we're standing along with Bill Davis, an understandably upset Bill Davis. Has NASCAR given you any indication as to why they would not throw a caution flag, get him out of the way?
No, I can't imagine. I mean, the way I understand it, we can't see it, but the way I understand it, he's sitting crossways in the middle of the track and we're still racing. That's not right. I feel like, I mean, I couldn't see it, but I feel like we should have had a caution and got the car restarted.
How did he say what happened? Did anybody get into him, or did he just get off the course?
I think it was just hard racing.
A lot of damage.
Okay, we'll be back with the finish and wrap up the victory lane ceremonies when we return. What an exciting day this has been.
$200 laps were set to go. Jeff Gordon in the Ford, Todd Bodine in the Buick. And Grand Marshal Phil Markdahl, after just having completed the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, came over here to wave the green flag, and it's Gordon off turn 2 with the lead. Bodine drops right in line. Labonte is with him in third, Nemechek fourth, Tom Peck fifth. That car up on the outside to the right of your screen is Robert Presley, digging hard and battling Ricky Craven for sixth. Presley fighting hard. We asked Jeff Gordon if it's distracting for you when you come here to Daytona. Keep your mind on racing.
Nah, I wish I could. Heck, I just watch them out there on the beach. I don't get to go out there too often. I just see everybody else having fun out there. But we're here to race, and that's where my head's at, where my mind's going to be concentrating on this whole weekend, is just on this race car, not on the beach.
Now there's an omen. Jeff Gordon has led a lot of these races at halfway, but the halfway leader, and their X1R, the sponsor of this race, it's a performance engine additive. They do have a cash prize up for the leader of the halfway lap, and Jeff Gordon has just banked that. Still a good battle right here for sixth spot. Robert Presley just filling up Chuck Bound's bumper right there. Now look to the inside, and there goes Bound. Lights him up, and Presley sneaks through. Neil Bonnet comes to his feet as David works his way by. And Troy Beebe spun to miss Chuck Bound. Caution flag, lap 162. And Gordon goes for a big slide up there coming out of turn number 4. Here they come to the flag. Grissom came to the flag first.
Now that's kind of a that's kind of an honor deal. You're just supposed to, you know, they say you don't race back the flag, but you got to protect the lead. This is going to be interesting to see what they call here.
Jeff Gordon went way up high in turn 3 as the caution flag waved, got up in the marbles. Labonte got underneath him, and then Grissom just put his foot down, and it looks as if Steve Grissom beat the pack back to the flag. NASCAR officials are in conference right now over how to call that one.
Usually it's a deal where, you know, it's kind of a driver's code. You just kind of stay in line and go back, but they were fighting for the lead, and it's going to be interesting to see how they call this.
If Grissom has the lead, we may see some fireworks here at Volusia County.
Grissom's pulling back up there. He's getting right up behind the pace car on his own.
And Jeff Gordon's not letting him in line.
Matter of fact, he took a swat at the right front fender then. They're showing 31 car leading the race on the board. I don't know if that's official.
No, the scoreboard is unofficial.
Watching Bobby Labonte trailing Jeff Gordon. Steve Grissom is right up there.
Now, we've seen the car of Jeff Gordon capable of doing about anything he wants to do. But if this sticks right here, for 31 cars leading the race, it's going to be tough for him to get around on this track the way it is.
He got way up out of the groove there at turn 3. What happened when the car spun, when Chuck Bound spun, not so much Chuck, but when Troy Beebe spun, there was a lot of stuff on the racetrack.
Okay, there they go in that trouble area right there. Okay, there's 63, Chuck Brown. The rear end broke loose on his car. He's sliding up the racetrack. Presley one under. Bodine one. There goes David outside, and there's another car. And Grissom, while this is going, Grissom stood in the gas right here coming up.
We're still okay to that point. Now the track's still okay. Here it is as Chuck Bound saw it.
Here they go, coming up the back straightaway. Saw the back bumper again. Bumper cam. There he's spinning, back in, broke loose. Greg getting in the gas. A lot of people don't realize when you turn it around, you don't use the brake pedal all the time. He's feeding the throttle, trying to drive the car out of that spin.
And you saw the car bumping there just before it went for that ride. Everything there was fine. Then Troy Beebe spun going into turn number 3. And when the leader came around to the caution flag, because Beebe's car was still stopped there, Jeff Gordon got way up in the loose stuff.
And they do have Grissom up front now with Labonte and Gordon in 3rd place.
Glenn Jarrett?
Well, standing with Bill Davis to add insult to injury now, Bill, they put you back in 3rd.
Well, it's a tough deal. I mean, that's what happens. You know, he got up in the loose stuff, and they had not taken the yellow. They were running back to it, and we ended up 3rd.
Can he get back up front?
Well, I don't know. It's just so impossible to pass, you know. I mean, I feel like we've got the superior car, but it's going to be awful hard to pass.
Boy, that's tough to lead this thing like that and have that happen. And like he says, have the best car, but nothing he can do.
And then off of the corner here, there we are. Labonte's up under him.
He got under him and into him. There between 3 and 4, and it may have cost Bobby Labonte because here is Gordon. And around they go. Not enough room for 2 cars at once. Can they get going? There goes Gordon. Now Labonte refires. Caution flag waving. I take it back. We have seen everything today.
No doubt about that.
Let's have another look at it. Neil?
He got up under him like we was talking about, this part of the racetrack, and he's down on that inside. Matter of fact, he's down on the flat part of the racetrack, but there's not much to work with. It's just a racing deal. Jeff's going for it. Labonte's using up all he can, and they got together getting in the corner.
And both cars go up the racetrack. Jeff Gordon was going for it last week at Watkins Glen, got down into that turn 5 that they now call turn 9, lost the car and would have finished 2nd. Here's a different angle on it.
Here they are. You can see he's just up there, just beside him enough to where he thinks he's got the lead going in, not the lead, but positioning. And he goes on that flat part, and the car actually broke loose. It looked like it broke loose out from under him, Mike, and he slid up into him.
Jeff Gordon is on pit road. That rear bumper and taillight panel hanging loose.
Well, he doesn't have a thing to lose. He's going to be on the rear, and now he's got the new tires.
Glenn?
Well, they are just giving service, changing right side tires, putting fuel in the car, but the main point of concern is that whole rear body panel. They're trying to bungee cord it back on. They can't rip it off because it's still secure on the left side, but the whole right side's loose. You see them beating and pounding. Their main concern is to get that back on the car. They're going to have to send him back out, bring him back in then, because they're going to lose a lap. NASCAR is holding them. They've ripped it away, and now Robert Black is down here now, and he's holding the car. Robert Black himself has held the car, so he has lost a lap. I don't really understand why, but we're going to find out, I'm sure. Big discussion going on between Robert Black and Bill Davis. Obviously, Davis and the whole crew are not at all happy. I can't say I quite blame them because I thought that they'd gotten everything done they needed to do to get the car back out in front of the traffic and stay on the lead lap, but Robert made the decision that he had not.
How many times this year has Jeff Gordon had the fastest car in the race taken off from the pole like a rocket and come to some kind of misfortune? He is now watching the field go by a 2nd time and will be 2 laps down. Rough riding is the call on Jeff Gordon as he went down into turn 1.
That's strictly a judgment call. You know, they view it and they make a decision and they go with it, and they call that move, you know, down the inside, aggressive.
His 3rd. A little discussion here. Who will take the restart next? on the outside. And here they come. Green flag. Jeff Gordon trying to get back one of his 2 laps against Steve Grissom, but the starter is reaching for the black flag. Bobby Dotter tried to get out just ahead of him. Dotter only 1 lap down, and Gordon 2, but Gordon has been black flag. A tough day for the pole sitter. 15 to go, and here's Dotter to the outside of Jimmy Spencer, who is no longer quick, got stuck in the slow lane there. And Craven, Mike Porter go loose up in turn 2, and the caution flag is out. And Jeff Gordon comes to pit road for the penalty stop. They'll put him tail end of the field. Ricky Craven back in. They'll put left side tires on his car this time. He's the last car on the lead lap.
Not going to be about 10
when they come back. 10 laps to go next time by, and they'll take the green flag. Steve Grissom beat Jeff Gordon back to the caution flag and has since held off the rest of the pack. Now here's Gordon and Dotter again trying to work out who's going to restart on the outside next to Grissom.
And if they keep that up right there, they both will get black flag.
They got it sorted out.
They got to let Grissom get up there beside him.
Now if they don't run over the pace car, we'll be all set. Here they come. 10 laps to go. Who will win it here at Volusia County? Nemechek can't get through the lap cars. Grissom is out there all by himself. With Gordon and Dotter right behind, Nemechek's going to really have to run hard to get a chance to challenge Steve Grissom here. Nemechek second, Spencer in third, Robert Presley in fourth. Tom Bonine's raced his way back up to fifth. Sixth is Tom Peck. Seventh, now Chuck Bound. That's a big cushion for Grissom. Nemechek has cleared Dotter. And here comes Spencer to the inside of Nemechek. They trade paint, but straighten out.
I kind of felt like this was coming. Spencer's the guy. He's not going to be content to sit there. He's going to make a run on him.
Here's Brad's pick coming to the front. Robert Presley right there behind. Gordon trying to get a lap back from Steve Grissom. Clearly he has the fastest car here, but he is now 2 laps down with 7 to go. The leader, Steve Grissom. Finding his way to third place is Presley, and around goes Gordon. He's up in the fence.
And out of the ballpark just about.
Caution flag at 6 laps to go, and 4 cars tangle at turn 3. Mike Porter, Ricky Craven, Ward Burton, and Butch Miller are all stacked up in turn 3. Burton gets away. No, he doesn't.
There's just going to be 4 laps left, and it looks like that car is hung up on that berm. It's going to be hard to get him out of there real quick.
And a weary Bill Davis takes off the headset. Fellow who owns that Baby Ruth Ford. If it wasn't for bad luck, no luck at all today. Here's what happened.
They go down in there. Grissom's got that inside line. Going right down the back straightaway. There's the bad place on the track. I think Jeff's just out there in the loose stuff. There's nowhere for him to go. He got in that loose stuff and it just turned around. He's going to go for a ride over in the, all the way over the top into the fence.
Driver who led every lap of this race from the pole until he got in the loose stuff racing back to the caution flag is now against the fence. Ricky Craven got caught up in the aftermath. He, Ward Burton, the Mike Porter car, and Butch Miller.
And they say Ricky Craven is dragging fuel, is either fuel cell dragging or fuel coming out of the car.
There's Jeff Gordon. He's okay. Well, he is okay. He's not pleased.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Craven trying to get back out there.
Yeah, they totally destroyed that car and practiced just about the place where Jeff Gordon's sitting right now and got it back together. And had a good run going, and now they're having a lot of trouble.
Not sure if he might have lost a lap in that incident up there in the back straightaway. I know he made every effort to get away quickly and may have. We'll double check the scoring on that. 2 laps to go, and this race will end under the caution flag. As the wrecker hauls Jeff Gordon's Ford to the garage area. Steve Grissom will pass by on his way to the checkered flag. And first victory of the season for Steve Grissom will come today in the X1R Firecracker 200. It'll be Grissom in victory lane. Last year here he finished 9th, 4th in 1990, and 18th in the first race here. As a disconsolate Jeff Gordon makes his way back to the transporter. Robert Presley comes up to wave congratulations.